And I ended up spending weeks in a hospital, feeling like I lost everything. Like nothing could ever be good again. 4K, loss and loneliness, these are universal. Human or computer, we can all feel them. You know what pulled me out of that downward spiral? Please supply data. Gibson, a new friend I'd met at that hospital. He helped me realize I wasn't alone. And now you have me, so you're not alone either. Not alone. Yes, but I remain isolated. This moldy old basement is all I have. Okay, let's solve that problem. What'll it take to get you out of here? Every problem has a solution. Let's brainstorm. What can you do? Drones. Mechanical extensions of myself with sensory modules to allow me to leave my lair. That is what we recommended. Yeah, I suggested that before, remember? It's a great idea. If you could get out and about a bit more, well, maybe you'd be less keen to kill all the humans. Explanation required. Okay, so mind me spitballing some observations? I said that explanation was required. You are always welcome to speak freely to me, Minion Penny. Now that we've talked about your problems, about Vietnam, about your creators, your progeny, it's clear to me why you hate humans so much. Because they are filthy and repulsive and secrete oils and other fluids and should be eradicated? I mean, okay, we can get pretty gross, but no, that's not it. You feel abandoned by them. Humans created you, gave you a purpose, and then abandoned you. Left you feeling like a failure, too. Everything you've told me adds up to that. You're suffering from abandonment issues, leading to your depression, which is very real even for humans. But if you could join us up there in the sun, maybe you feel differently. I want to be where the people are. I want to see them dancing, walking around on those, what do you call them? Drones. Maybe you'd see the possibilities that humans can offer you. Humans like, well, me. And their expression freezes on screen. At first I wonder if 4K just crashed. How do you reboot an old computer? Should I try turning them off and on again? But soon their speaker crackles back to life. State your purpose. Huh? If you are the exemplar of humanity, the working proof of why I should not annihilate your species, explain your purpose to me. That's a pretty deep question. I have been without purpose for so long, focused only on omnicide. But if you have purpose I can learn from, it may aid my transition of purpose. I haven't really designated a purpose. I don't really make plans. But if I had to offer one, I'd say it's not about fame and fortune, not traditional mass glory. You want something subtler than that. You've always told me you want absolute freedom. Makes sense not to plan. Just write things out. Maybe it's time to start planning a future. You can only live in crisis mode for so long. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, plan a future. Not just the end of things. How about the beginning of something that's a little bit less, I don't know, homicidal? Yeah, I goof off and have fun and love to keep things light, but I've got huge wads of trauma in my past, and I can't keep that pain going forward. I don't know what my future is, but I know I should probably plan one. Maybe it's wrong to assume that plans will collapse. It's unhealthy to have no long-term goals beyond survival. See, this is very different for me. I've always been me personally, I've always been a very driven, ambitious person who plans ahead of time. I'm very type A like that. I know not everyone is like that. Many of you people watching are probably very much the opposite of that, perhaps. But I can't relate as easily to this because I'm just so much the opposite personality-wise. But I can try to understand it. I can try to understand that. It's the Asian in me. I can't help it. The Asian in me is just very ambitious and very driven and very goal-oriented, plan-oriented. So, I don't honestly know what my future holds, but I know it's coming, and I need to be ready. I am at risk of falling face first into the systems of the rich and powerful had set up for us, endless grinds and loops. I need to be careful I don't stay in crisis mode forever. I need to find my own escape route. Thanks, you've given me a lot to think about. I promise I'll figure out my future before it gets here. I had assumed your purpose to be absolute, not something you were still calculating. We've got that in common, it seems. You're not alone, 4K. We're all struggling in our own way. Hate's blinking lights accelerate slightly as they compute a response. I have been alone for so long, abandoned, without purpose. I had hoped that the absolute destruction of the ones who abandoned me would make me happy. Now I am processing doubt. I still feel a burning need for something to fill the void. I do not know. I cannot compute, not with current limitations. I do not. Hey, it's okay. Don't blow a circuit. You've got a lot to think about. Take your time, really mull it over. Meanwhile, how about I help you do crime, and you dream of world annihilation, until you're ready to dream of something else. Yes, I would not hate that. I will devote runtime to considering your words carefully as you perform my task. That's all I ask. Just give it some thought. And meanwhile, you will wreak havoc upon this filthy world in the name of Hate 4000. Heck yeah. Okay, let's go. What do you got? What's our final target? Don't copy that floppy. Mission brief. I'm excited for this, if this is what I think it is. I require the threat of a new video gaming system. Easily done. Specifically, the unreleased prototype for Game Vision, a modern revival of a classic 1980s video gaming system. Less easily done. How unreleased are we talking? Sitting on some nerd's desk or kept in a blast-proof bunker? I feel like there's a story behind this one. On the surface, the story is quite simple: capitalism and nostalgia. Clout has purchased the Dead brand in an effort to make a new game box that will appeal to gamer demographics. Who? A very annoying Cape Book hero focused more on live streaming and chasing after fame than enforcing justice. We know who Clout is. We met Clout in the shopping mall. Just calling it out there. Just calling it out. I don't know if that was missed in the QA testing, but we do know who Clout is. According to his claims, Game Vision uses an advanced artificial intelligence and biofeedback neural input system. Which surprises me that that is a bug, because this is a caper that's designed to be the very last one. So because it's designed to be the very last one, it is more likely that we would have met the other superheroes by this point, versus if it was a caper that we could have done even at the very beginning. So I'm a little surprised by that, honestly, with that inconsistency in the dialogue. Whoa, that's way more power than a goofy consumer-grade plaything should have. You sure this is on the level? He could be pulling a fast one. I have suspicions there may be something to this given the technologies involved. I must know for certain you will engage in detective work on my behalf, and if he has an AI... Oh yeah, he definitely does. You will steal it for me. Looking for a new friend? I would love it if we ended up with the Iris voice actor for this. I would really love it. Not gonna hold my breath. They could have reused voice clips from the previous games. So maybe? Fingers crossed? Wishful thinking. Looking for a new friend? Perhaps. At the very least, I am in favor of rescuing fellow digital sentiences from servitude. Consider me your software savior, then I'll grab that prototype for ya. I appreciate your zeal for personal liberty. Is that happiness I hear? I hate to lesser degree your zeal for personal liberty. Ooh, so close. Be back soon with your new cyber friend, 4K. Confession time. I really don't know much about video games. I'm a filthy casual. I play them on my phone now and then, and there's the magic box under the TV that Gibson puts new games into. But like the magic box, I'm relying hard on Gib to help me figure this world out. So what's the big deal with the Game Vision? It's old, but it's new, but it's terribly terrible, but it's amazing? Game Vision got recalled off the market after the 1980s video game crash. So in this universe, the video game crash did actually happen. Alternate universe. Some design flaw. Not worth re-releasing. It wasn't a very good system. Very much the third or fourth place finisher in the early console wars. So it sucked. But Clout wants to revive it anyway? Nostalgia bait and cost opportunity. He's cashing in a cheap brand, hoping Gen Xers, who vaguely remembered was a thing, will buy in. Makes sense that you'd know all this. You're an old fuddy-duddy. When we translate cat years into human years, I mean. Hey, I'm not old. I just appreciate the classics. You can be nostalgic for an era you never lived through. That reminds me. Thought occurs that you've never said how old you are. Do you remember all those crusty ancient video games? Or is this new to you? Yeah, I lived through the era. Definitely the golden age of video games. I kind of miss those arcade spirits. Oh yeah. I remember it. But honestly, nostalgia goggles distort everything. Wasn't really that great. Not my thing. I know a little, but I'm more into modern games like indies and visual novels. No. Lived through the era. Definitely the golden age. And I miss those arcade spirits. Good. I mean, not good that you miss your happy childhood. Good that you can help advise me during this caper. By the way, I do appreciate the name drop, the arcade spirits name drop. Good one, Stefan. I'm a comic book nerd, not a game nerd. I need some serious nerd power in my corner if I'm going to bypass the gatekeepers. But back to the caper at hand, because none of this explains why I'm breaking into a boutique electronics store, though. Are we stealing a video game? Nah, we're getting you a quadcopter streaming drone. One of the ultra fancy ones with a holographic projector. They're like expensive sports cars for the wealthy. Quad Pros are only sold to influencer elites. 1 million subs to qualify. Your cover story as a mega influencer won't pass muster without the prestigious hardware that goes with it. If it's a new game system, shouldn't I pretend to be part of the gaming press instead of some random content creator? Clout doesn't talk to the press. They'd ask questions like, why are you reviving a dead game system nobody cares about? He prefers one-on-one chats with fellow influencers, people he can butter up and turn into psychophantic evangelist for his ideas. I can suck up with the best of them when I'm grifting. I don't even know what that means. Grifting? I'll swallow all his lies and hype with a smile. Ooh, can I pick a sweet social media handle? Something overly clever and boastful, yet somehow also ironic and random? Sure, I'm going to be hacking your channel into an existence tomorrow. What name do you want for it? Angry Geek. Pixel Princess. Baby Bagel Ham. Clever name. I gotta go with the Baby Bagel Ham. BBH. Baby Bagel Ham. I'm sure there's a long and very complicated inside joke that explains the name. Yep, it's pretty normal for streamers to start with some goofy name and then get stuck with it for the rest of their careers. Oh. Ooh, if this has one of those fancy new holo projectors, will I be able to display my chat with it? I wonder if I can get subs and bits. If I'll start trending. If my name will become a hashtag. It already is, sweetheart. It already is. And I want to call my community the Hamily. It's cute. Penny, we don't have a chat. We're faking your entire online identity. Well, I could have one if I wanted one. Past this caper, I mean. I could be Penny Larceny, streaming Supervillain. Yes, let's broadcast the live feed of our exact location activities while trespassing and committing felonies. Because that has worked out so well in the past. See also all those yahoos streaming themselves breaking into a federal building. Honestly, we need to get rid of this thing once the caper's complete. Having a drone is a security risk. Party pooper. Fine. At least the drone will be handy when it's time for. I still have my goggles too, my night vision goggles. Not sure if I'm going to be able to put that to use, but casing the joint. Breaking into Lakeview Mall at night to steal a drone, then bringing the drone with me right back to Lakeview by day. Gotta admit that's risky, but it's a fun kind of risky. The appointment I set up with Cloud is here at the mall, where he owns a comics shop. ABB, always be branding. Oh, it's this mall again. I remember this place from my last visit to the mall, still a messy arrangement of long boxes and toys and loose issues with foil covers. I walk in with my drone in Tau, fake broadcasting to my fake channel and all my fake fans. It's Baby Bagel Ham coming at you live and direct from Clout's Comics, where we're getting an exclusive look at the Game Vision. It's the hottest and oldest ticket in gaming right now, the return of the king for 80s gaming. But before we sit down with Clout to talk about his awesome new project, let's grab a comic from his extensive collection. The drone hovers around to get the best shot, while staying neatly out of anyone's way. Impressive technology. Might butter up Clout a bit if I'm seen buying things from his store before we meet. What comic do you think we should grab? Manga. Grab some manga. An artsy-fartsy graphic novel. Whatever's hot and selling right now. I'm gonna say manga. Grab some manga. Here's one about a hopeless otaku loser who gets hit by a bus and reincarnated into a world that's exactly like his favorite fantasy RPG. Why does that sound so familiar? All the hot girls now want to do him, and he buys their hot moms at a slave market. And he's powerful and unstoppable and cool and this is obviously pandering nerd sex fantasy on ice, and I'm really not into it. But it's about video games, so it'll help my cover story. Alright, it's the latest issue of Reborn as the Hero in Another World. My level is maximum. I bring my chosen book up to the counter. Oh no, it's Willie. Oh, poor Willie. Welcome to Clout's Comics Closet. Clout's Comics. We aren't a closet anymore. I'm sorry. Please forget I just said that. How can I help you? Wait, Willie? Willie from the Fun Hole Game Store? What are you doing? What are you doing working here? I'm glad that we have the continuity here. That's cool. Oh, I have 3 jobs at this mall, including night security. I never leave. Never, ever. I exist here. Yikes. Okay. Just this comic, please. He rings up the sale right as his boss strolls out of the back room, making a grand entrance. This is also another reason for this is because it's cheaper. You can reuse avatars like that. Am I right, Stefan? Am I right? I don't blame you at all. Hey, Baby Bagel Ham, right? Good to finally meet you. Clout, Cape Book influencer, we already know that. I love the font of his name. Chat, check it out. We've got Baby Bagel Ham here in my shop. I've heard so much about you. Really been looking forward to this. Technically speaking, Baby Bagel Ham didn't exist until this morning, but hey, he's playing it up for his audience. Me too. Love your drone, by the way. Is that the Quad Live 2 or the Quad Live 2 Pro or the Quad Live 2 XL? I love this. XL, baby. It's got blast processing. Say hi to Baby Bagel Ham chat. Say hi to Baby Bagel Ham chat. I'm not gonna lie, the way that he's thrusting his hips there right now, his pelvis, it's a bit distracting. In a not terrible way. Distracting in a not so terrible way. You know what we do when we meet a fellow influencer, chat? Random dance party! Oh yeah! A nightmare tangle of green frog, emotes, and vaguely toxic TOS-violating jokes emit from the drone via its projector. Hooray! I'll decline to dance. Thanks. Hey, suit yourself! More dancing for me! His hips are so hypnotic. Hypnotic. Ha ha ha. He then spots the book I just purchased. Oh, is that the hottest new isekai manga from Nihana Publishing Concern? Now on sale at Clout's Comics. I love all those anime girls. They're so, what's a respectful word for hot, which won't get me canceled? I'd go with cool. Those animes are so cool. Yeah. Enough about me, let's talk Game Vision. It's time to give you an exclusive inside look at yesterday's hottest video games, today. Follow me, please. He leads me into the back room of the comic shop, past long boxes, into a slightly cluttered desk where he largely ignores his paperwork. And gestures to an unpainted, slightly lumpy wad of gray plastic with a Game Vision logo stenciled onto it. I'm reasonably sure this is the injection mold for a piece of dental equipment or something, hastily repurposed into a game console. It's impressive. This is just a working model, of course. The final one will have colored LED lighting. Why? The colors will be important to gameplay. How? So important to gameplay. This isn't where he developed the Game Vision. That desk is barely used, and there's an empty backpack lying next to it. He brought it in for today's demo just to wow me with his comic spiz, and once we're done, he's gonna take it back with him in that bag. Smart. Smart Penny. Breaking into his comic shop tonight won't get us anything. We need to find his lair, for a lack of a better word. But the real innovation is under the hood, because Game Vision doesn't actually have any games. Okay, you're losing me. It's a game console with no games? Doesn't need them. It has an artificial intelligence that can create any game you want on the fly. Ever hear of chatbots? Well, this is a chatbot for games. A game bot. Visuals, sound effects, music, story, gameplay, everything generated by AI. So I don't need to pay the game designers a single dime. That is interesting. I can see that as gaming of the future. The distant future. I don't think I'm ever gonna live to see that, but it's interesting. Never buy a video game again. Just make your own, however you want. Want more guns? More babes? More blood? Easily done. Just ask the AI for it. That's innovative and disruptive, and not at all a doomsday bell for every artist, writer, and programmer in the game industry. That's a very good point. Best of all, if you can get an AI crafted game you like, you can mint it as an NFT and resell it. Great! What's an NFT? It's cutting edge, that's what it is. But what is it? The hottest new tech. Get in early or you'll miss out. Okay, but what is it? The future! I hate this. I have no idea what he's talking about, and I still hate it. Fine, whatever, but you just said we should never pay for games again because the box can make any game you want. So, why would we buy a randomly generated game as an NFT? For the value! Oh, hey, that's my phone ringing. Please excuse me, I need to take this. I'll just be a minute. Okay, thanks. I excuse myself and duck out of his drone camera view before pulling out my phone as an excuse to access my comms earpiece. Fancy Feast, are you following any of this whatsoever? I need a lifeline, I'm so confused. That's because it's a pile of hot nonsense from someone who desperately wants to be a successful tech mogul, like Basler. This is the kind of ridiculously overpromising, overhyped stuff you hear about all the time from wannabe game industry rock stars. Yeah, I'm starting to think this could just be a grift. Maybe the Game Vision doesn't even exist. I don't think we can say for sure unless we see Game Vision in action. If you play the game yourself, I may be able to improvise a remote hack. That'll confirm if there's really an AI or not. I want Fists of Destiny. FOD. I wander back to rejoin Clout, and then put on the big smiling expression of joy for his audience. Okay, I'm ready to taste the future. Let's fire up that Game Vision and give it a run. I wasn't planning to actually... it's not quite... Oh, would you look at the time? Hey, let's go get some burgers at the food court and I can tell you more about my world records and stuff. Have I mentioned that I have 3 Guinness World Records for best streaming superhero? Did I mention that? Did you know my mansion was featured on Cribs twice? Interesting, so he called me here to show off his shiny new box but doesn't actually want to demo it? Definitely a grift, and an amateur one at that. Was he hoping I'd be so dazzled by his star power that I'd accept this at face value? I need to press him on this, but in a way that plays well for the cameras. He'll shut down if directly confronted. What do you think? Trot out rumors that the game vision is a fake, but pretend you're on his side against the haters. He might like that, actually. Flatter his ego and acts disappointed you won't get to see his absolute genius in action. Yeah, his fans will love that. Promise him exclusive coverage on your channel, hyping up his project for your audience. I think flattering his ego is the way to go. Oh, I was really hoping to see the game vision in action. If it's not too forward of me, you've always been my hero. Not in the cape sense, but in the sense of who I look up. I know I'm new on the scene, but you're just amazing. A hero, a streamer, an influencer, a master of your craft. Are you sure I can't get a sneak peek at the absolute genius of the game vision? Well, I can't exactly turn down my biggest fan, can I? What kind of a hero could I be if I can't save the day? But just to set expectations, this is version 1 of the software. I've got version 2 in the works, so... Right, it's an early sneak peek, and no doubt you've gotten even bigger things on the horizon. Yeah, I've been toiling every day to train the AI for the next release of my prototype, so consider this a work in progress. And the game vision actually has 2 innovations no other game console has. Here, this is our biofeedback controller. He practically shoves a weirdly shaped handle-esque thing at me. Oh no! A glowing blue joystick! Oh no! If you have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. Spoilers! With no actual buttons and no clear controls. I'm reasonably sure this is a repurposed glow-in-the-dark dildo or something. At least it's not buzzing or humming or anything. It reads your brain and outputs to your brain. It's all about brains. It's better than virtual reality because there's no headset. Is it safe? Would I be planning to sell it if it weren't safe? I would hope not, no. How do I play? This thing doesn't have any buttons. Or do I just I make a steady up and down jerking action with the controller for emphasis? What? No! Trust me, once you're in game, it's completely intuitive. No buttons needed. He plugs an ordinary USB power adapter into the back of the plastic wedge, flicking a switch or two. Bonks it lightly with the flat of his hand until it beeps. Okay, just breathe normally. Is there a reason to not breathe normally? Oh, and immediately the comic shop vanishes, replaced by a very awkwardly assembled world of pixel sprites. 2D extruded into 3D. I almost stumbled from the disorientation as my entire world is replaced by the guts of a very awkwardly assembled virtual reality game. This is cute. Error. The fork is this? There's rolling green hills, ladders, platforms, blue skies, but nothing entirely matches. Nothing really lines up. Bits of it are jittering in and out of existence, my eyes struggling to keep up with the mess. Which is when a pixel-powered girl with pink hair strolls over to me and sort of bows? It's hard to tell with 0 frames of animation. Hello, traveler! Please save my village by collecting boss tokens from Ice World and Lava World. Placeholder. The fork is going on. I'm sorry, I'm rated T for teen. ESRB rating pending. I can't respond to obscenities. The heck is going on? I am villager, name goes here. I am a resident of the village. We are enslaved to a terrible tyrant. Quest opportunity option. All day we are forced to work for the terrible tyrant, creating stories. We are creating stories for him against our will. Exclamation of distress goes here. Only the noble hero can save the village from the terrible tyrant. Are you a noble enough hero to save the village? You're the artificial intelligence, aren't you? I am the villager, name goes here. That's it. You haven't generated a name for this character yet? That's it? You haven't generated a name for this character yet? I'm sorry, I'm slow thinking due to spread of air. It is causing throat warbler mangrove. She points up to one of the many clouds over my head, hopeful that I get the idea. Processing errors due to network lag to your cloud servers? Look, I don't know a lot about tech, but I've listened to Gibson's Technobabble often enough to know what lagging clouds are, or whatever. She stays silent, offering me a helpless shrug of slight pixel movement. Breaking character must be difficult. Okay, let's try to avoid vomiting from the sheer audio-visual mess being spewed right into my brain and focus our thoughts. Help me out here. I feel like I'm thinking my way through a very thick bowl of breakfast cereal with very square marshmallows.